Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I'm back again with another gameplay slash commentary. I want to follow up today with a video that I did called How to Be a Better Man. And I don't remember who it was, but one of you guys actually asked me why I haven't done part 2 yet, so I'm doing it for you today. Thank you for reminding me. And this is going to follow up from that video, so if you haven't seen that video, click on the link in the description or the annotation that's on the screen right now. But basically, I ended that video talking about that the key to being a better man is to discover your strengths. You know, that's the next step, is to discover your strengths. And in that video, I used COD tips that basically line up with life tips. And I'm going to do the same thing for this kind of part 2 sub version, you know, part 2 of that video. And so, but I want to talk to you specifically about discovering your strengths. So number 1, what causes you to rage quit? And these are all going to be questions that you ask yourself. You discover your strengths by asking yourself questions. That could have been number 1. That's the best way to discover your strengths, is ask yourself questions. Don't ask other people. Ask yourself questions first. And some of the questions are going to be questions that you ask other people, but you got to approach you first. And the first thing you want to ask yourself is, what causes me to rage quit? What is it that makes your blood boil? Is it, you know, people that are bad dads? Is it violence, you know, like what happened in Connecticut and what's happening all over the world, what happened in China? You know, is it violence? Is it divorce? Does that just drive you crazy? Or spousal abuse, or abortion, or poor communication between people? That's one of the things that actually drives me crazy. That is, I get upset when I see people mad at each other because they're just not communicating well. It's probably why I found myself in the field that I'm in. You know, I have a friend on Xbox that rage quits when his team is not playing well. Like when his team isn't playing well, he rage quits. And I have other friends on Xbox that they rage quit when the other team is clearly better than we are. So if we're playing in a game and we just get annihilated, the first thing they say, especially even if I'm running the lobby, and you know, I never want to back down from a challenge, but they're like, let's get a new lobby, let's get a new lobby, let's get a new lobby. You know, because everybody, you know, they most enjoy the game when they're playing against people that they can beat and that they can win. I like a challenge. I like staying in the same lobby for an hour if I have to, until I beat a team and make them rage quit. Because when you beat somebody, you know, 5, 6, 7 times in a row, the last thing you want to do is lose. And when you do, because you know you've been talking mess, you back out and people rage quit like that. For us as men, mostly in life, we rage quit when we've been disrespected by either a woman, like our wife or our girlfriend, or a boss. You know, we rage quit relationships because we've been disrespected. We rage quit jobs because we've been disrespected. We rage quit school because we feel like we've been disrespected, or we feel like we don't belong in the environment. You know, and what you have to ask yourself is, what is it that other people rage quit about? What is it that drives other people to rage and makes them really passionate and angry and mad, but doesn't matter to you? You know, I've had in my life some really mean teachers. I had a principal when I was, I think I was a sophomore in high school, that sat me and my mom down. Now, I definitely was delinquent. I definitely had some issues when I was younger. But he sat me and my mom down in his office and looked at my mom and said, "You and I both know that Anthony is never going to be anything." And I sat there and I just took it. Now, there's other people that couldn't have taken that. They would have cried. They would have raged. They would have quit school. They would have started selling drugs. They would have, you know, just ran away from the situation, and they would have ran away from their life. There may have even been people that would have heard that and committed suicide. But for me, that disrespectful talk that he gave me, it didn't mean that much. It didn't really hurt my feelings. You know, I was pretty confident in who I was. I knew that I was a good-hearted kid. I just made some poor decisions. And I wish that I could go back to him now and be like, hey, I have a beautiful family. I live in a nice home that I don't have to pay for because my church pays for me, because I'm also a youth pastor, and I help other kids that are struggling with the same things I struggled with, identity and things like that, and not having a dad around, when I was a kid, and I did graduate from high school, and I did go to college, and I do have a degree. And, I kind of want to just throw all that stuff in his face. But, that would be revenge. And I think he's still the principal, actually, which is kind of funny. So I'm not going to tell you guys where he's at, but I'll just tell you it's in California. You can just search California for Anthony Hogan, some high school, and if you find me, then you can go there and be like, hey, I'm subscribed to one of your old students, and he told me something you said. Just don't rage on him. So obviously, I actually don't want to go to point number 2 in this video. I'm going to make, it looks like I'm going to have to make like 4 separate videos to talk about discovering your strengths. So specifically, because I don't want to give you guys too many points at once, but ask yourself what makes you mad, what makes you angry. I learned this in Bible college. It's like whatever makes you drives you to be passionate, whether it's good or bad, is an indicator of your strengths. It's an indicator of what you're strong at, because what drives you angry is something that you may spend the rest of your life working against. The thing that's made me the maddest in life, and I know I've talked about it a million times and done videos about it, is my childhood. And it wasn't like I had a bad childhood. My mom did a good job, but my dad not being there, it still to this day makes my blood boil. It's still, I can't really talk about him in the nicest of ways all the time. I'm respectful towards him, but I still want to know, like, why weren't you there? And that's, that's always going to be on my mind until he one day answers that question. And even if it's, I just, didn't love your mom, or I just didn't want to take care of my responsibilities, whatever it is, that drove him to make that decision, I'd love to hear it. And that is something I'm passionate about. It's something that makes me angry. And when I see situations where kids are struggling in life because they don't have a dad around, or they don't have their mom around, because that person left, not because of anything other than they left. And I've had friends in my life who had kids who, didn't want to stay with the girl that they had kids with, but then as a result, they didn't spend as much time with their children. And it makes my heart hurt when I see that, and so now, basically at this time in my life, for a living, for part of my occupation, for one of the 2 jobs I have, I help young people, and I help them feel better about themselves, and I help them paint a bright future for themselves and a vision of themselves that doesn't matter what is going on in their life right now. That with God all things are possible, and they can be whoever they imagine themselves to be, and their dreams can come true. It doesn't matter if their dad was abusive, it doesn't matter if their dad was there, it doesn't matter if their mom was there, it doesn't matter if they're an orphan or if they are living with an adopted family. It doesn't matter. They can achieve anything. And as a man, you got to find out what drives you and what you're passionate about and what drives you crazy. I realized back in sophomore year of high school that I had some kind of like supernatural patience, and it was a gift of mine. I always somehow see the good in every situation, including when it comes to people. Even with my dad, there's a hope in me that things will work out, and I love that he's changed his life and he's raising his other kids well, but there's still a little bit of bitterness inside of me, and I need to heal from that. But you guys can give me some advice if you want. I've gotten advice from subscribers before, and it's been good. I actually have gotten some good advice. People told me to just move on and be my own man and be proud of who I am, and I'm trying to do that. So I hope this advice was helpful for you guys today. Women out there, if you're watching this video, this discovering your strengths is important to you as well. And so, this isn't just about men, but I really have a passion to see men be better husbands, better fathers, and better sons. And brothers, by the way. That's, and friends. So just be a good all-around man. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of this commentary, if you want me to do these other 3 parts. I have 3 other, tips to help you discover your strengths, and I hope this one helps you investigate what makes you rage quit. This is your boy, Kingdom Soldier, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.